How would your life change if you would always wake up with high energy and ready to go after your goals the minute you wake up? Sounds too good to be true? I get it. There have been times when I really struggle to get out of bed in the morning too. But there are specific steps that you can take to make waking up way better. I've done it, tested it, and it really does work. So in this video, I will tell you the 7 steps to do that yourself. We'll tell you a bit more about the science behind that and tell you how important and how effective each of those steps is. And don't worry, it doesn't require you to be self-employed or develop a 3-hour morning routine. So are you ready to finally have good mornings again? Then let's start with the very first thing you have to know. Not too long ago, I started to learn more about having more energy. I wanted to be more energetic, so I read articles, read a few books about health and watched a lot of YouTube videos too. One specific one from a guy named Andrew Huberman. You probably heard of him before and he really does have some good advice. And there was this one video which said in the thumbnail, "Don't sleep for 8 hours." And I was like, what? I thought this is the recommended time for sleep. Is it not? But actually, he was right if you feel tired in the morning, for 2 reasons. The first one is a pretty simple thing. He didn't address it in the video, but I will tell you. Maybe you just need more sleep, because how much sleep you actually need varies. But we'll address that later again. And second, and that was the point of this video, sleeping 8 hours would mean you would wake up in a deep sleep phase. Normally we sleep in about 1.5 hour sleep cycles. And in the middle we have deep sleep, and at the end we're more in a lighter sleep phase. So that would mean that if you sleep 7.5 hours, you should wake up in a light sleep phase, which of course will be easier for you to manage because you're not in that deep sleep. But when you sleep past those 7.5 hours and then you wake up after 8 or 8.5 hours maybe, you will probably be in a deep sleep phase. And that can be way harder to manage as you wake up because of course you were in a deep sleep phase. So actually waking up earlier in that case might be beneficial if you really struggle to get out of bed in the morning. But I will also say, those 1.5 hour sleep cycles aren't always exactly 1.5 hours of course, and they will vary from person to person. So maybe you should experiment with it. Maybe 8 hours works best for you, but potentially you might want to wake up after 7.5, or even better, if you feel tired in the morning, wake up after 9 hours. And that can make it a lot easier for you to get out of bed. The second tip on this list is also incredibly powerful, because when you do this, it's so easy to force yourself out of bed and actually get up in the morning. And what I'll tell you now will also prevent that you just hit the snooze button and just continue sleeping. Because that's what many people do. Their alarm next to the bed goes off, then they turn it off or they hit snooze, and of course then they're still very sleepy or tired. They just want to continue sleeping, and I guess that's pretty normal. But a super efficient trick to actually make yourself get out of bed is to simply place your alarm across the room. Chances are you heard of it before, but you're still not doing it. But the truth is, it is really powerful. It's annoying, but it forces you to get out of bed, to turn that sound off, and then you're actually getting up already, you're moving already, and you're not in your comfy bed, and that just makes it so much easier to actually just say, yeah, whatever, I'm up now. Might as well go to the bathroom. And of course, once you do that, you wake up much better than when you're still in your comfy bed. And as a bonus tip, set the music from your alarm to very high, and that forces you even more to actually get out of bed and turn that sound off. Now let's talk about another tip that can also be a real game changer. And it's not about loud sounds or forcing you to get out of bed immediately. Honestly, this might actually be the most important thing on this list. If you do this, it gets just so much easier to wake up in the morning. It's gonna take a little bit more commitment, but because of that, I will also tell you 2 very simple and quick tips at the end as well. So just 2 bonus tips on top of the list as well. So if you can't do the thing I'm about to tell you now, those 2 can help you too. But to get back to this point number 3, I want to tell you about my one friend who sometimes really struggles to get out of bed in the morning. And honestly, I think if he would just change this one thing and he would actually do it for some time, then he wouldn't struggle anymore. I think one of his biggest problems with getting out of bed in the morning is that he's very inconsistent. One day he goes to bed at 9 p.m. The next day he goes to bed at 4 a.m. One day he sleeps 8 hours, the next day 4 hours, then 12 hours.
Perfectly balanced, this whole thing should be.
And for no reason. Of course he will struggle to get out of bed in the morning, because his body and his brain isn't really used to, for one, going to bed at the same time, but also to waking up at the same time. We humans like routines, and our biology does too. So having a consistent sleep routine is super important. I mean, we had that for all our history. We went to bed when the sun went down and we woke up when the sun rose again. Only recently we introduced night shifts, shops that are open 24/7, and of course the internet that's always available and can always entertain us. But the truth is, our body doesn't really like that. Our body and your body wants a routine. You don't have to overdo it, but if you have a routine, it will be much easier to wake up in the morning. And if you really stick to it, at some point you won't even need an alarm anymore. And we all know that's the best way to wake up. But of course, I know, for one, this is not possible for everyone. Also, try to be there for 80% of the time. Of course, sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes we stay up later. Sometimes we sleep longer. And that's not the end of the world, but trying to hit a routine for 80% of the time definitely can be very beneficial. Now for step 4 and 5, let's talk about 2 more quick and easy things that you can just do in the morning before the last 2 tips will take a bit more commitment again. But those last 2 tips are actually also very important and extremely underrated because nobody seems to talk about them in a video like this. So trust me, they're gonna be good as well. And like I said, we have the 2 easy bonus tips as well. So there's a lot more knowledge to drop in this video.
Let's go!
Now for this next step, step number 4, all it really needs is literally like a couple seconds at most. But the impact and the difference when you do it versus when you don't can be night and day. Or at least your brain thinks so. Because you might relate when I tell you that it's a lot easier to wake up in the summer when the sun is out already, but wake up at the same time with the same amount of sleep in the winter when it's cold as fuck outside and it's dark, and you will know that it's much harder to wake up in that specific case. So I think we can agree that waking up on a bright day in summer will be easier. And the good thing is you can kind of trick your brain, at least to some degree. What I'm talking about is just turning the lights on in the morning and to get warm as soon as possible. And that second reason is actually also the reason why I want to get an automatic heating system that just turns up and makes the room warm just before my alarm goes off. Because that really makes it a lot easier to wake up in the morning. So if you have that, use it. If you don't, what I do and what already works pretty well is to really turn the lights on as soon as possible. I don't get it how people can wake up in the morning and stay in the dark all the time. Like, I mean, I get it, I could do the same thing. Okay. But it's so much nicer to turn the lights on, because then you signal your brain, okay, it's day, wake up. It just makes waking up easier. So why stay in the dark and make it harder for you? It really does work. Now this next step, step number 5, might be a bit confusing after what I just said, because turning the light on and getting warm is really powerful. I mean it, but especially if you're tired and sleepy for a long time after you wake up, you need to try this. You will probably hate it, but it's very damn effective. Maybe you guessed it by now, but if not, I'll tell you. Take a cold shower. Yes, I'm sorry, but the truth is that really works very well. This will 100% wake you up, and on top of that, it also increases your dopamine by 250 to 400% for a couple hours afterwards. And that of course makes your morning even better. Yes, it may be uncomfortable as you step into the shower and you have that cold water on you. It really is uncomfortable. I hate it too. But once the shower is done, once you're ready, once you step out, it really is so rewarding. You're alert, you woke up fully and you also have better mood and are more motivated to go after your goals. So really, if you're not a whiny bitch, try it, take a cold shower in the morning, and that will definitely wake you up. Now for the last 2 steps on this list, I have 2 tips that might be a bit unexpected because they're not directly sleep related, but I'm very sure that they will definitely make sense. If you really want to wake up energetic and stay energetic afterwards, then you can't ignore this. And the first of those 2 things I'm going to talk about now is something that I already made a couple of videos about. No, it's not about eggs, but actually maybe it kind of is. Because you need a good diet to be energetic. I won't tell you what to eat specifically in this video, but I still quickly wanted to mention a good diet in this video too. Your body needs the right foods and the right nutrients to do its job. And one of those jobs is to give you energy, to be energetic. And that of course has an impact on how you wake up. If you do all the things that I already talked about, but your diet really sucks, you will probably still wake up kind of tired, because you're probably tired all the time.
Oh shit.
Now I have videos on that too, but let me just quickly tell you. 3 simple rules. Eat less sugar, eat less fast food and processed foods, and instead eat more whole, natural foods. I think those are the 3 most important things, and maybe what you can also try is a low carb diet, which really helps many people to be way more energetic and also more focused. But again, I'll talk about that in other videos, or if you want to talk to me directly in a one-on-one setting, you can book a call through the link in the description. But really, if you cut sugar, if you cut fast food, and if you eat more whole natural foods, you're already doing a pretty good job and your body will thank you for it. And the last step on this list, before I tell you the 2 quick bonus tips, is also very good for life in general. Same as the improved diet we just talked about. Unfortunately, it's also something that many people continue to ignore. So if you wake up to work your boring dead-end job and you have nothing too excited about in that day, you're really not looking forward to that day, it's very hard to jump out of bed in the morning. Trust me, I've been there too. I know what that's like. But if you have something nice planned on that day, you're going on a vacation, you're meeting up with friends, or you're working on something that you really like, then of course waking up will be much easier. So as the last step on this list, have something to look forward to, something to be excited about, and also have goals. Have goals you really want to achieve and that you want to work towards. That can really change your mental game and help you a lot with getting out of bed in the morning. So the 2 bonus tips quickly on top for free as well. First, drink water immediately as you wake up. Really just have it next to your bed. Drink a full glass and it really helps to wake up, hydrate and have more energy. And second tip is to have a raw egg shake the evening before.
What?
I'm serious. If you don't eat eggs, of course, skip this, but eggs give you plenty of vitamin B, which literally turns food into energy in your body. And of course, those eggs will give you plenty of other minerals and vitamins as well. So it really will help you to be more energetic. And that's part of the reason why I think eggs are actually the best food that you can eat, especially when it comes to having more energy. But I'll also explain it in this video. I talk about it more in depth from an objective standpoint. So if you want to change your diet to have more energy, you really need to check that one out as well. And then maybe see you there. Stay excellent, have a great day, and bye.